Looks like we are all set. Just making sure audio is good on YouTube. Okay, so let's get started. My name is Jared. This is Engineering the Markets. It is August 17th, 2021. Let's take a look at what the market has for us today. Let's talk about a few things from yesterday. Pretty notable set of moves in yesterday's price action. We'll start off in a fairly common spot that we like to discuss, and that's with the bond market. We're still seeing fairly heightened volatility in this marketplace, and a lot of the shorter term price action is somewhat well correlated to some of the price action that we see in the equities market. The obvious correlations being if bonds are moving higher, we do see a bit of a bullish skew towards tech, growth, maybe consumer discretionaries, and some of our riskier sort of high yield performers or high growth performers. Uh, and with bonds down, we obviously have a more inflationary thesis with sectors like financials, industrials, materials, and energy being the laggard at this time. So just to bring up some shorter term price action yesterday, we saw that the bonds were starting off the period of intraday session quite strong, sharp rally into the 150. And what's notable about that is inside the TLT, that is a fairly significant gap fill, which as a technical structure is a pretty common occurrence once we enter the gap. Essentially, if price action is moving through a period or an area of low liquidity, price not only tends to move through it rather easily, there doesn't tend to be lots of resistance. And as long as the momentum can carry it through the entire gap, the gap fill not only tends to complete, but you also see typically on the first gap fill movement rejection at the opposite end. Kind of think of it like going through a swimming pool with not too much in the way of resistance, but as soon as you hit the wall on the other side, you often want to bounce back. And during yesterday's session, we saw that pretty much complete inside of the TLT. And we saw the likes of some of our tech stocks have some similar morning-based price action. Lots of strength in stocks like Apple and Microsoft early on, but as soon as we hit that gap fill, we started to see not only some topping in the intraday, but we also saw a fairly significant downside move. These are pretty large overall moves in these stocks, given both their market cap size and also the range that was completed across the period. Something like Apple, very notable as we are looking at a potential some bull flag breakout, but the volatility here brought us all the way down to the 20 period after seeing some sort of 3 bar sort of initial launch from the pennant structure over the past couple of weeks. So volatility across the board. And what's interesting is, of course, we had our afternoon recovery and strong finish into the close. That is something that, based on just the bond market, cannot necessarily be correlated. We did see these stocks basically pull all the way down, come back all the way up, most of which closing much higher than they started on the session. And of course, throughout that session, bonds continued to sort of fade. So a little bit of an intraday correlation break. We're not necessarily going to call that correlation completely gone, but it is notable. And if the correlation does start to wither or just not have as much relevance, that is something we should be able to see over the course of a couple sessions. But so far, bonds are in this trading range. We have it defined by our gap and this swing low. And what's notable about these lows, of course, is we not only had an inflection high, sort of a swing high pullback breakout, but we also have this sort of back in time area this period where the TLT gapped down multiple sessions, a very weak period in the bonds. And if you note the date, 216, that is the period of time where inside of the QQQ we saw some similar topping action. So it does seem as if the overall tech sector in regards to the NASDAQ does have some relevance to that support zone. If we were to lose it, of course, maybe the tech sector would see a correction. But given that we haven't, and given that we've rebounded so strongly from that area on this first test from above, of course, the NASDAQ continues to grind higher and we're seeing more bullish activity. So that's countered with some additional strength that we're seeing back in the dollar. Overall, gonna kind of keep the dollar just on watch. Nothing of note from yesterday's session, but just a lot of well-defined support and resistance zones. Ultimately, one of these levels breaking should see some sort of sharp volatility return to the sensitive asset classes that correlate well to the dollar. And that brings us into, once again, sort of an odd group out or odd man out, and that's going to be the gold market. So last week we saw that sharp pull down in gold, and that lined up well with a significant, pull this just to show the correlation. We'll just bring this to a 4-hour and remove all the studies. So a sharp decline in gold, and that also was correlated with a sharp decline in the dollar. Dollar sort of rose counter trend, back testing, and the gold was able to recover from this area. So unlike what we've seen recently, gold market, I mean, ultimately a bit more volatile than I would say anticipated, but also seeing very sharp dead cat-like bounces back to the upside. And if we pull up something like the ETF just for gold, you can see how significant that volatility has been with the large gaps in between afternoon sessions and morning sessions, along with the ultimate recovery bounce back to the 20 period. Now, at this time, sentiment in the metals market is a bit, I would say, unbalanced. We're having this recovery bounce inside of gold, but with silver, things are a bit more muted. And then with the copper market, we're trying to see if this market can ultimately hold trend with the context of a larger sort of head and shoulder structure at the top end of its move. Obviously, multiple weeks of trending action in the copper market since the COVID lows. So a bit of an odd mix of different groups of metals. Some have their own specific reasons for being stronger than others. We're seeing some activity still in silver, in steel, and that's reflected more with some of the stocks that we've been trading, stocks like X, stocks like CLF, still seeing a lot of bullish activity. But of course, with steel, not only is it less of a precious metal itself, it's more of an industrial metal, but there are some news-related and catalyst-related events around the steel market performing well into infrastructure changes in the economy. So we'll keep an eye on those, but ultimately nothing of note outside of the significance of that bounce in gold. Okay, so yesterday we had, once again, the bullish recovery in Apple and Microsoft. So these stocks were definitely carrying the marketplace higher after they sort of bottomed on the intraday session. But another thing to always keep in mind is that we have a trending sector in the form of healthcare. And with healthcare, we did see once again new all-time highs, very bullish uh, trend day to the upside, of course, without too much in the way of volume. Stocks like UNH were one of the core reasons for that strong push to the upside. This one showing more of the potential for continuation. We're seeing increasing volume off of a low point of indecision. We're also a bit mid-range, so if we are to launch from here, we could pull up something like a volume profile, and likely we would see that we're kind of coming from an area of control, potential point of volume point of control. And if we do launch from here, that's of course the ignition that is often needed to move away from balance. So keep these stocks on watch. And of course, if you're looking to trade the healthcare sector, we do have a lot of key candidates, UNH being one. We're still seeing volatility across the mRNA, BNTX, and PFE space. Pfizer, of course, not seeing the same downside as mRNA, but having that sort of sharper correction during that 1 to 2 day period and already back at all-time highs. This should be all-time highs if I'm correct. Yes. Pull up a max. Yeah, we have cleared all-time highs very, very recently. So this is once again always looking back as far as needed, and we're seeing just how significant this breakout is. This is a new all-time high for the stock. PFE, notable. We have the likes of J&J, very similar. 3 extension days to the upside, stronger bullish volume on the move. And then, of course, I could bring up a few other examples, but these larger market cap names, specifically with UNH being the main component of the Dow, we talked about how Goldman Sachs was in a similar position last week. These stocks are helping that particular index move higher due to their size inside of their share price, not necessarily their market cap. And that can be seen with the Dow, of course, at new all-time highs, but also knowing which stocks are performing in this 30 stock index. So lots of interest in these names, but we're also seeing a renewed interest inside of staples. Ultimately, this one has been on our radar, but not always in the, I would say, front spotlight. We do need to take into account that this is a true all-time high breakout here. We're seeing once again that bullish extension away from the trading range. And as we move higher, this once again has the same aspects of healthcare where we can start to see this market trend. Some key areas to consider if we get pullbacks is of course going to be the 20 period, as we do have moving averages all in alignment. And we've also sort of connected to the moving average of the 20 period as we've broken out. What that can look like early on is something like this, where the marketplace ultimately consolidates for a period of time. We see the moving averages realign themselves and the price action hooks to this trending moving average. We see the extension away from consolidation, higher bullish volume. Usually you want to see a couple of trend day continuations on the breakout. And then ultimately the first pullback offers usually the best risk to reward against the consolidation area and ultimately to extend into a trending market. So when looking at a new breakout and when looking at how to anticipate whether that breakout may have continuation, you want to kind of see a few similar patterns and structures, especially when you're looking at something that's more comprehensive, like an ETF or just in general sector and marketplace. Healthcare gave a lot of those signals early on, and you can see the performance that was gained from it by watching this area, ultimately anticipating the breakout, and even if you miss it, of course, defining your risk on the first pullback. We might see those same components come into staples moving forward, assuming that this becomes a new sector that is trying to trend. And finally, with trending markets, we also have to talk about utilities. Staples themselves being relatively defensive as far as money posturing is concerned. Utilities also in that same category. Ultimately, if the economy goes down, everybody needs utilities to be on, and everybody needs toilet paper and hand sanitizer for their staple products, along with laundry detergent is kind of the common one that people refer to. But utilities is seeing that same all-time high breakout. We pull it back to the monthly. Actually, I'm sorry, not all-time high, relative high. We do have a bit of topping action that we do have to deal with before the COVID lows. We'll go ahead and mark that for now. But this marketplace, similar to what's occurring in staples, on the breakout is going to be a bit extended from your sort of trending moving averages and just overall extended as a marketplace. Often things get away from the mean, they kind of move ahead of schedule, and then they ultimately pull back over the period of a couple sessions to give you another risk-defined entry point. But utilities have been trending. They've moved through this previous area of consolidation. We had a couple of opportunities for bullish breakouts that ultimately failed. They pulled the market down lower, but now we are seeing those clear signs, rising bullish volume on the breakout. And ultimately, with a market at all-time highs, posturing is interesting to see some of these more defensive sectors still outperforming in general. Pulled up XLF and Goldman Sachs, but basically with the bond market, these are still more sensitive to those reactions. We're seeing similar to tech, bonds were up, financials were down. Bonds hit a topping point, financials were able to recover. And now, very similar to bonds, we saw the fade into the afternoon lead to a slow grind in financials. That is something where we've seen this before. Financials tend to track much more closely to the bond market on a shorter term time frame than the tech sector. You can see the very obvious inverse correlation here and how similar these patterns look. So moving ahead, just keeping those on watch, knowing what some of the key inflection points are. And if you're trading an intraday, if you're trading a financial stock, if you're trading a tech stock, albeit that correlation did break yesterday afternoon, having bonds just in your view can kind of help you to understand if there's going to be a lot of follow through in your setup. As we were seeing Microsoft and Apple explode higher, we were keeping bonds on watch, and when they topped, we sort of noted how significant that drop could be. Obviously, with the recovery being less anticipatory. So that's our sector overview. We kind of keep the same tone, the same nuance each and every session. But let's finally take a look at our marketplace indexes and see what's going on with some of these names. IWM overall very choppy, still seeing a lot of I would say magnetism and consolidation towards VPOC. 220 still remains that area of meddling for this market, and we are still not getting that nice extension in either direction from here. We're simply seeing recovery bounces and sort of fade off from the highs. There has been a bit of more bearish activity, a little bit of rise in the selling pressure, but ultimately, as long as we are catching up to the 200, there's still potential for this market to sort of hook itself to this moving average, finally get through the 220s and move higher. Obviously, the ultimate risk here is if this market ever did lose this range low, I think it would be in some uh, short to midterm trouble to the downside. We talked about the Dow breaking out, very strong recovery move, very similar to the SPYs and the Qs. We're getting out of this range very convincingly. Um, Similar to a lot of these breakouts, we did find some support at the 20 period prior to the breakout. So if this market wants to trend, we'd love to see that first pullback on the breakout attach itself to its trending moving average and ultimately give you a new high. So keep those in mind. A lot of these sector ETFs and even the indexes have the same look. We were in a range. We're starting to break out. Healthcare already did it. Staples just did it. Utilities may pull back, but they're a bit extended. And the Dow has a similar look and feel to it. If that's the case, then look for those pullbacks to find support at trending moving averages. Oops. Our SPY, we've seen this short-term range hold. We've also seen that reconnection at the 20. The extension passed, albeit volume was a bit poor, and ultimately we were waiting to see if there was a bit of conviction at some period of time, one session where we saw a confirmation of volume and directionality. Short term, it does appear as if the market has chosen a direction. It looks like we are considering the move higher. And if we do extend, we just want to keep in mind some possible targets. Ways to do that would be going to the SPX, looking at things like expected move, which we've covered a few times prior. Looking at a weekly expected move, we have some upper ranges around 45.18. And that's, of course, if we continue the bullish push from yesterday's session. Downside targets on the expected move, and that would be sort of a breakdown of this breakout, false breakout. 44.18 for the expected move. That brings you right into the 20 period. And ultimately with the SPY, that would be close enough to the 20 period to consider potentially another bounce point for this market. Looking at the NASDAQ, structure here is a bit different. And ultimately, I'm still considering this potential channel resistance as something that the market may be drawn to. We're seeing yesterday's price action with the bullish volume confirmation. We got that volatility on the sell-off. And short term, if we look at the hourly, there's a bit of an inter trend line that's been holding quite well. Little bit of weakness on Thursday's session that ultimately did recover and bounce. I was looking for that to break down. It of course didn't. And then yesterday's session, once again, showing how powerful this recovery was given the V-bottom approach, along with the idea that because we broke this level, but we had no follow through, there may be some bears who are now trapped in this marketplace, looking for that to be a short trigger. And ultimately that not having the follow through, we saw how quick the extension above happened to be. Now, is that enough to continue bringing us higher? That's yet to be seen. We are technically not at all-time highs, so the Qs have a bit more to go to retest 370, but hop, skip, and a jump away, not too far away, and with the overall market strong, obviously the Qs would be one of the components that could lead us to those higher prices. So just keep that one in mind. We've held the 20 period quite a few times. The issue, of course, was if we're able to hold this trending MA, why are we not getting extension? And that has been just a bit of choppy price action. We're seeing some range compression here, of course. And ultimately, we're looking to see maybe today or tomorrow, can this market actually break out, which it has not done so yet. And I believe that's it. Those are all of our products. What I'm looking to maybe convey into the rest of this session is things that we've been discussing are still relevant. We're still seeing high correlation to bonds. And even on the shortest time frames, you can see how powerful those adjustments in the bond market have affected the particular sectors that are most sensitive to it. The one that obviously you want to keep on watch is financials, due to how, I would say, adherent it is to that correlation. But technology does appear to have some of that inside of its price action. And then with the larger theme of healthcare, staples, utilities, more defensive sectors breaking out and moving to all-time highs, let's watch this marketplace carefully to see if we do see larger topping action that ever does want to occur. That would be a more macro sense of why are some of the strongest sectors the most defensive. Healthcare having been trending for quite a while, we're now seeing staples and utilities break out. Tech and financials are also at all-time highs, but they have been for quite a while. And ultimately, if they're in need of a larger pull down or correction, we would want to see that adjustment made across the board, sort of like a full market correction, as opposed to just one or two sectors having drawdown. I'm also keeping an eye on energy. With energy, it's starting to move against its more dominant sector that it tends to trade against, which is financials. We're seeing the weakness in crude, although crude is holding the 65 per barrel at this time. A bit of a double bottom so far, and also a bit of an extended technical structure for a breakdown. If you've been on some previous sessions, I don't really have a name for this structure, but a lot of people call it sort of the H, and it just means it's HE double hockey sticks for shorts to break the support. So they come down in an extended way, they hit support, they have a muted bounce, they try to break down, and ultimately they're exhausted from this, and you see sort of that counter trend rally from here. Some signals for that would, of course, be now that we have multiple lower highs, we'd want to see something like that retracement line start to break out. So keep a close eye on crude. We're getting to that inflection point of if 65 wants to break down, energy, of course, will follow with it. If it does not break down and ultimately holds, especially in some sort of false breakdown structure, that could lead the way for a more explosive move higher. And we've seen what a false breakdown can do in some of these marketplaces, both short-term and long-term time frames. Another reason to kind of consider it, we're right on that tipping point of the 20 period. So that would be another signal where we tried to lose the trending moving average. And ultimately, if we recover, that would be some sort of bear trap to the downside, leading possibly to an extension higher. So we'll keep all this in mind. Crude is not really the most bullish of markets, but it is an opportunity that may be setting up. So we'll keep that in watch. All right, y'all, that's pretty much it for today. Tomorrow, we'll actually look at some pretty interesting comparisons between some of the main growth stocks and crypto. And if you've been with us for a while, I've actually done this comparison before. A lot of people maybe don't see the nuance between unrelated categories and sectors. But with technical analysis, we are looking for structure, for patterns, for repeating cycles. And there's a lot of that going on in what's occurring in crypto right now, along with what has already occurred in some growth names. So we'll take a look at some of those charts, obviously draw your own conclusions from there, and we'll see what plays out over the next couple of weeks as these charts evolve. So Take it easy, trade safe. We'll talk more tomorrow, and stay tuned for pre-market prep.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market Prep. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How are you doing today? I cannot hear Peter. Let me sure it's not on my end. Peter, make sure your mic is not on mute. Nope, I still don't hear you. All right, we'll wait for Peter to get some sound into us. If not, we'll have him do some sign language over there. Tell if his stock is good or bad by thumbs up and thumbs down. And speaking of thumbs up and thumbs down, over on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, as it means a whole lot to us on our end. So while we get that settled in, let's go ahead and talk about our watch list from yesterday, guys. Guys, it's been rough. Wow. I mean, let's look at some of the stuff we had on deck. Sono, this thing was just, it has some potential on the daily, right? It did give a big drop, but look how this thing traded on the 5 minute. It was not clean at all. Very, very choppy. Where's our 5 minute from yesterday? Here it is. So again, and we knew we did not have a blockbuster watch list. We knew that. Here is all right. So yep, no problem, Peter. So here's our watch list on Sono. Again, just complete chop, guys. Here it looked like it wanted to break out of these levels that we had, 42.24, and some other level here. Well, this became the high of yesterday, right? And it just struggled big time to do that. Then it's just wrapped around the stuff around the VWAP and the moving averages for the almost entire trading day. Initial drop here, another drop over here, but outside of that, just not a great trading stock overall. Here is Mara this morning looking active as well. It is up a little bit, about 1%. But yesterday we had this on deck as well. Great pre-market action. You did get an initial drop and continuation here. But again, just things seem to die down so fast. I mean, August is a month that we know earnings is kind of over with already, and you're seeing a lot of this chop, just no continuation, no great moves on some of this stuff here. NEO was great. We did trade NEO for a short here very early on, so that was nice. You got an initial drop that we got in very early on, and then just again, you just come into this chop here, right? If you compare this to like July and other months of the year, you're getting better volume and better continuation. We're not seeing that in a lot of the stocks that we are coming up against our watch list. So again, this is what we're always reminding people: be very careful. With the size you take and your approach towards this type of market conditions. They're definitely not the best, right? We've seen so much better out of our watch list on a lot of occasions. Here's Oxy as well. Did give you an initial drop, but then again, you go into this mid morning chop. Goes all the way into the afternoon. Really, just nothing really much happening here. On Oxy. CCL, pretty much the same thing here in the morning. You did get an initial drop, not clean though. I was watching the price action on this one. You were not getting incredible volume as this thing was happening. So the price action was not great. You did get a nice reversal here. You did get going nicely. You can see the volume this stay put here did not fall off until later in the day, but you can see this beautiful pop here. It does come back, test the VWAP, and then continues on. So that was decent, right? Now, probably one of the best stocks that we had on deck was AMD in our watch list. This thing continues to trade very, very well. And on AMD here, guys, you can see this pop initially try to get above so much resistance up here around this 111.50 or so. It's just a lot going on there. You can look at the daily in a second. But again, refuses to get above that and then just drops down nicely. I love this engulfing pattern here to start the market open. So nice engulfing pattern there. Does slam down to this 109 level that we had. That was our low of our pre-market. Could not hold on to that. And then look at the continuation play you get here on AMD. So just very, very nice. This is probably one of the best trading stocks that we had yesterday on our list. So with that said, well, let's check if Peter is back with us here. Hey, Peter. Check 1 2. No sound from Peter. Peter, make sure that the window, the streaming window that you're on, make sure that's not muted aside from your physical mic as well, because that has a mute button too. No, that's not it. Oh, interesting. Peter waving bye to us here. Well, in the meantime, we'll keep going, guys. Jonathan says Norm is hacking you today. No, Norm is enjoying his time with his son. All right, guys, let's move to our gappers list. Gappers list this morning, guys. This is what we have here. Not a whole lot in the green. A couple of things in the red here this morning. Some names. I can already tell that on some of these names don't look great. You could tell when some of these stocks, these tickers are stuff that we usually don't trade. Companies that we probably never heard of for the first time. We got a few that we have, NVST, Futu, Roblox, TME is also on here. Again, not a great trading stock. A couple of foreign stocks I see on there as well. So let's go through them. Let's see what we find. Let's remove our watches from yesterday. Control A and then Control X gets rid of that, and then we can see what's happening here on our watch list this morning. All right, starting with DMR. Oh, hold on, forgot to. Let's link our montage. So you can do that here by the external linking over on Trade Ideas. Add new link. This window's gonna pop up. All you do is just go over to the area chat and everything where you want to put that in. Hit Shift, let it go, and then that links the montage right over here to your Trade Ideas. So now when you're clicking on your Trade Ideas, it automatically populates the ticker right over here in your window. So pretty neat stuff. All right, so DNMR this morning, they are up. Let's go over here. Let's get our daily. They're up a nice 12.6 with 131,000 shares traded. So you got a little bit of volume here. Pre-market is not looking great. Their daily, see these type of stocks, their daily could be very brutal, right? Look at here, no volume at all. So yes, they're gapping up today after a nice sell down the last couple of days, but just no volume whatsoever. I think Peter could have done better with that picture. All right, so no volume at all whatsoever here, and then you can see the drop. Yesterday had a nice day, seems like, but again, these type of stocks don't trade very well. Here's an example of a stock that looks like this that did not trade very well. TSP was one that came up in our chat room, right? And this stock, you can tell the volume is very light, not a whole lot going on. Look how these things trades at the open, right? This is what you normally get when these things are gapping up or down. You get this one initial spike and then just completely dead for the entire day. Nothing at all happening. And that's my concern when I see stocks down the daily. They don't get great volume like this one here has seen Has seen a little bit of some increased volume the last couple of days to 6 million from their like what 1 million or something. Let's see what it is. Yeah, 1.2 million. So again, those type of stocks, this one reminds me somewhat of those stocks, and this is why the daily is so important. When you don't have a great daily and you start seeing stocks that don't have great volume, they tend to just have an initial spike and then become pure chop. So I'm not a fan of this one, guys. I'm going to skip on to the next one. FLGC this morning, they are, what do we have here? They're up 9.8, 185,000 shares traded at the moment. Again, another stock that does not look very good at the moment here. Volume is a little sketchy here. The daily chart's a little sketchy. We've seen this one before, guys. I'm not a big fan of it. Today they're up 9.8, 889. I mean, can you get a scalp out of this? Yes. Let's see how I did yesterday. Not great. Maybe today they have a good pre-market action. Maybe they can get something going. We'll have to see. Peter, I think I heard you there.
Hello?
Yes, I did.
And
All
that
right.
concludes the secret for trading successfully and making $1 million a day.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
joining us,
Thank you for that.
everybody.
Welcome, welcome. Hope
Hello,
you're
I'm
having
finally
a
here.
better morning now.
Yeah,
All
sorry
right,
about
guys.
that.
So we're here now on ME. This one is on up 7.4, 150,000 shares traded at the moment. Again, just doesn't look great, guys. Very light on the volume on the daily. And again, just not like this pre-market action. So we'll skip on this one at the moment. I told you guys, some of these names don't look great. And guess what? They're not great. BBL looks like a buyout. You got some decent volume, but look at the way this thing is trading. It's just completely flat. There's no real movement on it. So not sure what the whole deal is on this one.
So,
And yeah,
yeah, BBL's actually BHP Billiton, definitely not a buyout, but they do not trade well. You're right. It's a dual listed stock, and it's one of the world's largest miners. They actually sold some of their entire, or sorry, they're planning to sell their entire oil and gas division, and
hmm
then have approved a $5.7 billion investment in the Jansen potash mine, which I've actually worked at in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. So big news for BHP. However, as Carlos pointed out, I mean, look at the daily. Like, it's not normally a great trader. So I am
yeah,
only going to keep it on a sort of a third list. I may look at it midday to see if anything's happening, but don't expect
yeah.
much.
Okay, so that's a nice catalyst. And you said BHP is the other one involved in this, right?
Well, that's the company. Sorry, behind it.
Oh,
BHP Billiton is the company
okay.
behind this. So
Gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha. So they're gapping down, which is usually the case, and this one's gapping up today. So, all right, cool. SE this morning, they are up 2.3, 245,000 shares traded. We've seen this stock before. It is a horrible intraday trading stock. I won't add it to my list. I don't care what they're doing. They're just really bad when it comes to day trading. So I'm not going to add it on here, guys. Higher price. The spread could be insane at times. You can easily see it 80 cents on this stock. At any given point. So just be careful with this one. If you are going to be trading this one, just look at the daily, look at the volume. It is not something that we want to see on our watch list. CLSK this morning, we are down 15%. So nice big drop there. I do like that. Volume could be a little bit better. Price pre-market action right now showing that some volume is missing here, unfortunately. But I do like this drop, guys. This is a nice big drop of 15% and losing a great area of support that has been support for July and August, and even sometime in May here, you did get a beautiful bounce. We slammed back down over there in July. August has been a trying time for this 13 level here, and it has been not able to hold. I'm not sure what the news is, but it could be interesting. I would like to see a better pre-market action on here, more volume, but we'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Let's see if this thing can get a little better this morning.
Yeah, they're a Bitcoin miner, so they move with the price of Bitcoin.
Mm. Okay, all right, there we go. ZEV. Now this one popped up. You guys remember they gapped up huge a couple of days ago on here. Today they're dropping down. As you can see, they're down a 14.3, 104,000 shares traded. The volume has seemed to die down on this. If I look at here, again, we had 153,000. I'm not sure what this, we're looking at probably 18 million. So that's not too bad. But as you can see, the volume is dying, 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 dying. I'm just not sure how great this thing is going to trade. If we look at yesterday's action, nothing overly exciting there. Yeah, I'm concerned with how good this is going to trade. So unless we have an amazing pre-market action or increase in volume, you can definitely tell this is not going to be all that good. Um, can you tell me the retail sales number, please? Retail sales. Not sure what that means. MV
Oh,
PS.
one of the economic reports we had this morning was retail sales. So retail sales, they were
Oh, okay.
expecting the forecast was expecting a drop of 0.3%. It was actually down by 1.1% in July. So there's your retail sales number.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Peter, for that. MVST, guys, we've seen this quite a bit. No, it's a hit or miss with this one. I'll put it on here because today it already looks like it's not going to be a great list. So we'll put it on there. We'll see what it does. Futu, I don't like to trade this one, guys. Be very careful, man. This thing has dropped a lot. Wasn't this like a 200 something? Yeah, 200 something. Now we're back down at 83. So it's been on a bit of a roller coaster rise the last couple of months, and now we're just dropping down below this level of 100, which has seemed to be some good support. We're kind of consolidating here the last couple of weeks, and now we're dropping down. So that is interesting. I do like that there. I just don't like the way this thing trades. It can be very tricky to trade, but if you do like this one, add it to your list. I mean, we'll add it as a paso for now. Nothing that I like so far on my main list. Here's Roblox. Great stock for maybe swing trading, but for intraday trading, it is not ideal, at least not for me. So today they have some good volume, 320. Their pre-market action is getting pretty active here. I do like their drop. They're seeing below 76, 75. Maybe today could be a day for Roblox. Let's see. Let's put Roblox on here. TME, again, another stock that does not trade very well. I won't add this to my list. Lower price. It just doesn't move well. BPH, yeah.
TME had earnings last night, so that may give them some life today. They beat their numbers, and the outlook looks relatively positive despite the headwinds that they're facing with the Chinese regulation issues. But they claim that it should not have a big impact on their business. So we'll see if TME can get some life today.
We'll add them on here again. The market seems not to care so much. They're down 6%. But let's see where it goes. Sometimes you can have this here, and you can do a kind of a slingshot move here and head back to that green area. So we'll see what they do. Here is Billy this morning. They are down 4.7, so huge drop for Billy. They've just been losing a lot of ground here, hanging around at 110 just a month ago, and now they are down over at 70.66. So again, just continue to get hit. This is part of that Chinese news and that's going on as well. Again, they have been just getting crushed here. I do love this drop here. I think they could use more volume. Pre-market is usually not the great on Billy, but it can trade very well at times. So we'll put that on there. All right, guys, I'm going to stop here. So whole long list of stuff coming up here. Some big names that we know: Baba, Baidu, mRNA, Neo, Plug, Fuso, Tesla, CCL, all down here around that down 2 to 3% for the most part. I'm not going to go through all of these unless you guys bring them up, and if they look good, we can take a look at them. Peter, what do you like this morning? I'm going to add AMD because AMD was great yesterday. I hope you took advantage of that. Probably one of the best trading stocks.
Always on my list. Apple finally broke 150 at the open, just after the open yesterday, and continues despite having dropped overnight, or at least this morning. It's still right now holding above 150, so I expect that to be in play. Certainly something to watch. From the earnings front, it's not on our list as of yet, I don't think, but Walmart and Home Depot both had earnings overnight. Both are gapping up only marginally, and Walmart is gapping up marginally. Home Depot is down by 3.4%, but I expect both of those to be in play, despite the fact they don't, like we already said, retail stocks don't often trade that well, but might be worth watching.
Yep, agree 100%. Got Walmart HD here, guys. Let's take a look at what we got going on. Let's start with you, Jonathan. You're giving us Neo and XBEF. Let's take a look at Neo today. Neo had an initial good drop yesterday. Then from there, it didn't do a whole lot. They are down 3.1, 812,000 shares traded. A little bit lighter on the volume, but I do like this daily, guys. They just continue to get crushed here. Lost 44, great level there, and have not really put in any kind of strength into their daily here, continuing to gap down every single day for the last 3 to 4 days here. So that could be interesting. I do like Neo. I do like the way it moves. I wish it would have more volume here, but 822 is not too bad. XPEF, let's take a look at that one. I'm probably only going to keep one of these, and it'll probably be Neo. They tend to have the better volume. Slightly better daily, not by much. They look pretty much similar here, but you can watch either one, XPEP or Neo. I'll keep Neo. Alfredo, you're giving us Apple. We do have on deck already. Let's take a look at Baba this morning. Man, these guys are down 3.4. Just a whole lot of stuff here down this morning. Yeah, I think Baba is going to be in play. If you like Baba, add it to your list. I'm gonna add it to it as a possible because it does look better than a lot of the other stuff I have on here. But it's usually not a stock that I can trade very well, so I usually stay away from it. If I can find something else to trade, I will most likely go with that. Hyro, you're giving us Plug this morning. Plug, again, could be a hit or miss. Their pre-market actually is not looking great. They're trying to lose this level at 25, or at least trying to hold it. One or the other here, but again, they're slightly below that 25 level, which is your previous day close. That could be interesting if they start losing ground here. But again, I just don't see anything that makes this one really in play this morning. Again, I'll put it on here, but it probably won't stay there. RMO this morning. Let's take a look at that. RMO. I've seen this before, Ivan. It's one of these stocks that's it's weird to trade. Doesn't get great volume at times. I know they had a couple of drops in here the last couple of days. I just prefer not to trade this one, to be honest. I mean, it's just a stock that can be very, very choppy with lighter volume. I hope today we can find something better than this. Again, not looking so great right now, but things can change very quickly here, as we know. Apple, we have on deck very high volume. Yes, I agree with you, Terry. 1.4 almost here, and again, it's got some good volume. Pre-market action is very active this morning, and what makes it really nice is their daily. Right, look at their daily here, finally breaking out of this consolidation they have for some time here, back and forth between this 146 and 148 level towards the high end, breaking out of that now, hitting all-time highs here. So yeah, looking pretty good there. NAOV, is this a low flow? I think this is a low flow. And
we were watching it yesterday. That's why it might sound familiar to you.
Yes. And yesterday, then we also watched a couple of weeks ago when he did this madness over here. I remember that from Andrew trading this one also. Right now they got 3.5, but man, I gotta tell you, this 3.5 million shares that they're trading here, it just doesn't seem nice. Maybe that.
So
maybe.
Look, yeah. Sorry, remember what we talked about yesterday. For those of you that were here, Carlos, if you can pull up the 1 minute chart and on NAOV, to me it tells the story. See, look at that. So you've got 1 penny candles that have bodies and wicks. Like you could just look at that to me. Look at how like that means that the volume is largely computer generated. That's algorithmic trading. So right now, yes, lots of volume, but not really in play if you're trying to day trade it.
Yeah. There's when we look at the bigger picture and you see us say, it has great volume, but that's not trading well. It comes down to that. I mean, look at it here. Here, a little bit better, but then here, all this chop here with 3.5 million shares traded, that's not a good sign. And once you dig into the details in the 1 minute, you can see why that's not looking good. So, guys, I'm going to take this one off. Can it change? Absolutely. Can it break out and become the next best thing since sliced bread? Absolutely. But I don't think today is not looking like it right now. FLGC, we do have this one here as a possible, guys. I believe I added it here. They're up 7%. Very, very active. I don't like their daily, but they are active this morning. They are getting a move going on here. Right now, this, in comparison to what we just saw in AOV, is a whole different story. You got less volume, but this is actually trading volume. This is looking real nice. They're not computers. So it could be computers with a mix of just retail traders. This is actually moving somewhat in play. I just don't like the daily on here for the most part, but I have it here as a possible. Let's see if that can trade very nice this morning. Heading on down, Mr. Goldman, you're giving us JD today. For the most part, they are down 4%. Again, a lot of these Chinese stocks are down. You can kind of pick the one that you can trade well, right? You have JD, you have Baba. I saw some other ones on here too. Who else do we have here?
Huya, HUYA had earnings, so they might show up on your list.
Huya.
Low volume so far today, but look at that.
Yeah.
Another one of those steady. If you look at the daily, right, just down, and more down.
Nothing good happening there. So again, just a lot going on here, guys. As far as some of these Chinese stocks are down as well. JD, we have Ross who's giving us AMC. Let's take a look at AMC. Yeah, AMC's daily is very interesting. It seems to be chopping around here. They don't got insane, crazy volume. 527,000 is not all that great for AMC. They can do a lot better. But I do like this potential continuation if they can hold it up against this 36, right? And you guys know this stock is not a low flow stock, but you need to be careful the way you trade this. Losing a lot of ground now, though, as you can see here, volume coming in towards the downside pretty nicely. All right, let's do a few more, guys. Wish and CHPT. We'll do these two, and then we'll go over to YouTube and see what's going on over there. Wish this morning. You know what? Wish we had it yesterday, not on our list. We had it on there, and it's a difficult stock to trade at this price. I just don't know what it is about it. The price action is not nice. You're getting great volume on it, but doesn't trade very well. And you got to take tons of shares to get a decent profit out of this. So I'd rather trade something else like a Neo, where you get a decent sized move and you can get a nice return. This one here, you're moving between 10 cents, 5 cents. It's just I don't for me the way I trade, this is just not worth watching, right? Just for the way I trade here. So look at this. You got this. Some of the drops here are what 15 cents here. This is probably the bigger one at a 30 cents. Like a drop like this on Neo, this will be 50 cents, 75 cents to a dollar, right? So again, you got to do what you're good at. I'm just not. I don't see it this being worth my time to trade something like this one for that reason. So I'm gonna stay away from it, guys. CHPT. Let's take a look at it here. CHPT at the moment they are down 1.3. The volume is very light though, 55,000. I see you're looking at possible break on the daily here, trying to hold on to the support area. So that could create some momentum here one way or the other. But right now, it's just the volume is extremely light for us to keep this on deck at the moment. All right, let's skip on that right now, and let's go over to our YouTube chat. Let's start with Luke. You're giving us UPST. We know they had earnings a couple of days ago. They did pretty well. They've been crushing it ever since. Today they are down 4.2, extremely light volume. And again, look at it yesterday. What the look at this. Look at this pop, and then just gives it all back and then comes back again. It's just very choppy. But if you were able to get an open range breakup here, that would have been nice. So yeah, I think they're going to be in play. You can see here the increase in volume in the last couple of days, dying down a little bit. They're giving some back today after having 3 really nice green days here. So I'm not sure how this is going to react. It could be a good possible. I personally do not like the way UPST trades. But I gotta say that daily is very interesting. So we'll throw it on here. It can definitely beat some of the other secondary stuff we have on our list here. What else we have, guys? BON, BHPT, BHP, excuse me, BHP, BHP. Oh yeah,
so that's the one we looked at.
yeah.
BBL and BHP are related tickers for
Mm-hmm.
the same company. So that's the news we talked about earlier.
Yep. Which one looks better? Probably BBL. No, they both
They
look.
both look equally bad to me.
Yeah, they
So.
look equally bad. So, again, we'll have to wait to see how they react at the open. Right now, they don't look great, guys. We have to see how the reaction is when the volume comes in. Right now, they're just not doing a whole lot at the moment. So, let's take a look at mRNA. I see a couple of you guys throwing that one out. mRNA this morning. Daily's interesting, guys. We're down here 3.5. We've been taking a bit of a hit the last couple of days after a beautiful run, right? Once we broke out of this 380, we kind of topped out at almost 500, maybe 500 exactly. And then we're slamming right back down below 380. So interesting. Are we going to continue to drop here? We're going to find some kind of support on this level of resistance that we had. That is a low from yesterday. So their daily does look very good. I agree with that. Always remind yourself on mRNA, you have to check the spread, make sure everything looks good. But I've seen some really great trades out of the community on this one. So they are definitely in play today as well, I believe, for a possible continuation. The FBRX, what is that? FBRX. No good. No volume, guys. Pretty light there. We have X. Yeah, very light volume right now. It's just kind of into a consolidation right now. It looks like between 29 and 28. Not really doing a whole lot at the moment. SoFi. Let's take a look at SoFi. What do we have here? SoFi. No, I don't like the setup this morning. They do have 254,000 shares traded, but for the most part, it's not doesn't look great here this morning. So we'll skip on that one. IWM. Well, that is just a indicator at the moment. They're just down. I don't usually put this on my list. They're just down a little bit here on the IWM. So, all right, guys, we'll stop here. Did I miss anyone? BON. Corey, I missed you. Sorry about that. BON this morning. All right, we started to get some action on BON. They're daily, though. They're daily. Not great. What is this stock, by the way? BON. What is this? Bond Natural Life. Okay. I'm not sure what that is, but
Low
yeah,
float.
recent. It's a low flow. Oh yeah, recent IPO as well. All right, so if it's low float, I won't put too much weight on the daily, right, for low floats. But we need a lot more to happen here in the pre-market. They're starting to get going though. Volume is coming in 620,000. We got to come back to a little bit later. It's got to look better than that. Let's see if that wakes up here for the low flow of the day. Sitting at what? What is this? I don't have a flow on trade ideas. Do we know what the flow is for that one?
Yeah, I show total float at 8 million. I don't know what the
Mm-hmm.
or shares outstanding. I don't know what the actual available float, but it's always somewhere lower than that. So
Gotcha. All right, so that is what we have, guys. AMC. Did we look at AMC? Yeah, AMC could be. Yeah, it could be a possible. I got a lot of stuff on here, guys, but I'll tell you this: we're gonna chop up a lot of this. A lot doesn't look great. I'm putting it on here, hoping that by the time Peter's done with his community events, we can find something that looks really good out of that list. So, with that said,
yeah,
let's go to our community events and go over some of the stuff coming up this week. And actually, I'm going to bring up the webinar. And for next
yeah.
week, it's
Maybe
still, yeah.
just before we do that, since my microphone issues stopped me
Hmm.
from getting on earlier, I just want to mention from overall market perspective, once again, as
Yes.
always, Jared did a great job in engineering the markets. We do have a couple of events I want you guys to be aware of. So we just talked about retail sales in passing because someone asked for the number. That number came in lower than expected, which is usually an indicator that the market is not accelerating to, as much as was expected. So the recovery, especially with the Delta variant on COVID, seems to be having a drag. At 9:15, we've got the industrial production, which is coming out, and then at 10 o'clock we have both the business inventories and the home builders index. Independently, I don't normally pay much attention to them. But in combination, I'm a little concerned that if those numbers are weak across the board, right? Weak retail sales, weak industrial production, and weak home building, we could see a drag on the market. So just be aware of that, that when those numbers come out, they could have no effect. But in combination, we might start to see a little depressive activity coming out against the market. The other strange thing from a major market news event is that Jerome Powell, the Fed chair, is talking at 1 o'clock. But the line I have is that he takes questions from students. So I don't know what that means. Are these grade school students or university students or grad students? I have no idea. But I've experienced in the past where sometimes he can let his guard down and he might end up making statements that the markets can react to. So again, be aware around 1 o'clock if you're trading. We could see some jumpiness in the market if he makes a comment that the market says, "What the heck does that mean?" And we could see some reaction up or down. So just if you're in a trade, just be aware of that 1 o'clock time frame. All right, so that's it from the market. But let's get to the bear bull traders news. Because as Carlos pointed out, we do have, as always, things going on this week. And with that, let's start with our strategy and trade book activities. So this happens every Tuesday. So that's today. Tonight, we will be having our long anticipated webinar with Kyle talking about Bookmap. As I mentioned yesterday, Bookmap is a tool that you can use to understand where demand sits sort of in the market off the current price. It is a different representation of the information you would get in a standard level 2, but it can be quite useful in the way it's displayed. So he's going to talk about how you can use it, how you can leverage that to improve your trading. That's at 8 o'clock for our elite members in the webinar room. Next
Yeah,
week,
and
we're
for next
still...
week we have
Yeah.
Jared. So Jared's gonna be talking about the previous day close as the king of levels. So looking forward to that. As you know, guys, Jared has a is very well knowledgeable on the market stuff. So looking forward to that webinar about the kings of levels being the previous day close.
King of levels. I love it. So yes, and he is right about that. Jared uses that heavily in his trading, and he'll share with you sort of how he uses it and why it's important. As you saw up above, and then we've got a full lineup right through the month and going into September. So join us here, and you'll be able to take advantage of all those webinars. Wednesdays are Psychology Wednesdays, and we always do webinars there. So tomorrow night we will have Mike presenting Module 3 in his psychology series on the importance of discipline in trading. That's at 8 o'clock, as it always is, once again in the webinar room. And then the week after, on the 25th, we will have Dr. Jonathan Katz. So if you're with us yesterday, you heard him on Mindful Monday. But he will be doing a town hall with a couple of our traders. And it's always a great format, right? Because you get a chance to ask questions. Often we find that those that are being interviewed, like you'll find that they've gone through similar stuff that you have, and there's always a lot of resonance, and we get very positive feedback every time we do it. So that'll be next week at 8 o'clock. And as we do every week here, we do two things that I think are very important. One, if you choose to make a sort of a super sticker or a super chat using the YouTube functionality, we made the decision not to keep that. In fact, we will match any donation you make and donate it to a different charity every month. Last month, it was American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And this month, I think, I forget, what is the charity that we're going to this month? It's about autism, I believe, right? So
yeah, that's correct.
These are charities that are near and dear to our hearts, as we've had friends or family that have been impacted in one way or another, and it's always good to give back to the communities in which we operate, and that's what we're endeavoring to do here. Part of our community, if you want to sort of show people the trades you've got and maybe showcase the skills that you've gained, we'd love to hear from you. So send us your member trade of the day. So this is for all Bear Bull Trader members. Whether you're an elite member or a regular member, you can submit a trade. The only thing we ask is it should be a live trade, no sim trades, right? So if you're trading live money, send us your trade, a couple of different time frame charts with the trades clearly marked. Use the tags that we have up above in Twitter, and then the hashtags BBT family, hashtag day trading, hashtag stock market. That way we can clearly identify that you're submitting for trade of the day. Mike goes through and evaluates them and picks a trade of the day. And then all of those that are picked for trade of the day go into the hopper to be chosen for trade of the week. And if you're chosen to be the trade of the week, well, you get bragging rights, as I said, for all eternity. So hopefully you'll submit your trades. We love seeing them. And it's, you know what, by the way, over the last couple of months, we have seen like just increased quality in the trades that are submitted. It's really hard to pick a winner because we got some fantastic trades. So if nothing else, check out our Twitter page or our Twitter information. You'll find some fantastic trades there if you subscribe, and then you follow us, and then you can get notified when they sort of get posted, because there's some fantastic trades in there. And if you want to join us, as always, right, you can join the chat room for a 1-week trial that gives you access to our onboarding class and live trading all day. See how it works. See if it's a community for you. That's only $24. Use the code PREMARKET24. And then you can join us as an elite member if you choose to make the plunge. We'd love to have you. The code is SUMMER40, which gives you 40% off our annual elite membership. So hopefully we will see you in the room soon, and we'll be able to trade with you along with everybody else. All right, Carlos, let's get to some levels, and then the market will be opening in about 24 minutes.
Yes, absolutely. All right, guys. Thank you, Jason, so much for that super chat donation there. $7 bomb. Thank you. Appreciate that. Can't trade next week or so in the field for harvest, watching from YouTube. So thank you for that. Thank you for the support.
Awesome.
And thank you for that donation that we matched by
Thanks,
Andrew dollar for dollar there. So thank you for that. All right, guys, let's get to it. SPY's very active here, as you can see. Let's look just through some of the stuff that we have here. Again, I am not too happy with the list right now. Hopefully it can get better. Let's start with Roblox this morning. They are down 6%, 492,000 shares traded. Again, this is more of a possible, guys. I mean, I know they're moving here. I know they're losing some levels, but we know Roblox does not trade very well at times. So I'm going to move this one down here as a possible. I know the list is long. Don't worry. We're going to fine tune this very nice this morning. So we'll get rid of Roblox. Here is Billy. Billy this morning. You know, I like the drop on Billy 5.3. I'm just concerned that we're not getting enough action in the pre-market. So I don't think they're really in play. It's just that whole entire sector is dropping down, right? So I'm going to get rid of it, guys. Even for a possible, I don't think it's there yet. AMD is definitely on our list. Probably one of the best stocks that traded yesterday by far. Their action, intraday action was incredible. They continue to stay above this level of support that we have here. This 106 been very strong for them. We'll definitely keep an eye on AMD here. Apple, I think, is great, guys. We got some good movement here on Apple. 1.5 million shares traded. So Apple is breaking out of this consolidation that it had here, just kind of moving sideways. finally did that. Broke out a few days ago. The day before that was kind of break even day, and then yesterday we had the nice little breakout towards that all-time high here. So again, Apple looking very good. Walmart has earnings. My issue with Walmart and HD that even with earnings, they can be very difficult to trade. So I believe these two are going to be great possibles. I don't think they're really, at least for the main list, they're not really there. Now, if I was to keep one of them, maybe Walmart. Walmart seems to have better volume. They can tend to trade a little bit better. So we'll do this. We'll move HD down. We'll keep Walmart. And next we have Neo on here. Neo at the moment, their volume is starting to pick up, almost 980,000 here at the moment. Pre-market action is a little bit on the choppier side. Again, down nicely 3%, continuing to get crushed here over the last couple of days. So that is interesting. Are we going to continue down here on Neo, or is there some kind of base happening soon here, or we get some kind of relief onto the buy side, to the upside? So that is good there. I got 4 ones that I like so far. Let's take a look at our secondary. Let's see what we can pop up here. HD is a great possible. Again, just they have earnings, but sometimes they just don't trade very well. Same thing with Roblox. AMC this morning. They got some volume here, 778. We'll keep them as a pass for now. mRNA, guys, I think this one could be decent today. You do got some decent volume here. You're dropping nicely. I think mRNA could be on our list. Again, it's not a blockbuster list, but I think this one could have some potential. UPST, guys, I'm going to remove it here. I know they're trading very nice lately, increase in volume the last couple of days. For me personally, they just don't trade very well, so I'm going to get rid of that. CLSK, I like this drop here this morning, guys, down 18%. 321,000 shares traded. We do have shares for sure. Their daily's not great. What's the flow for these guys? CLSK. What do we got going on here? 31 million shares flow. Again, I like the pre-market action here. If this continues, this could actually be all right. This can be all right. CLSK. We'll move this one up. We'll delete it from here. FLGC, guys. Again, they got some volume this morning. I'm not a fan of their daily here. We had this on our list before, and it did not trade very well. I think it can stay here as a possible. MVST, this is not looking good. Let's get rid of this. This is not looking good at all. Futsu, again, I'm concerned here always with the way this thing trades and the actual spread on it. So let's keep it on here. I do like the fact they've been dropping so much. I mean, this thing was sitting at 200, 170 plus here. Now we're down at 84 in a matter of 2 months here. So that could be interesting on what's going on there. Maybe at a lower price, the spread could be tighter at the market open. We'll see. We're actually going to keep it here. Let's see how this thing trades now that it's at a lower price than it has been the last couple of days here, the last couple of weeks actually. TME, I'm going to get rid of this, guys. I just don't think this thing trades well at all. Let's get rid of that one. BABA, I think is in play. You got a lot of Chinese stocks that are down today, including BABA, including JD. You have Billy on there as well. I think BABA is probably one of the best ones right now. They got decent volume. They all look like this, exactly the same. They're all down, and they're all just pretty much flat right now. So hopefully that can change as we get closer to that 9:30 time frame and things start moving around a little bit. But I think Bob is probably the best one to keep. Plug is a hit or miss right now, and I honestly think it's not really in play, guys. I'm going to take it off. A Plug, even with great volume and great pre-market action, can be choppy at times. And right now we don't have a great pre-market action to keep it on our list. We have BON here, which is our low flow of the day. Again, we need to see more volume out of this right now. It is setting up nicely as far as the pre-market action, right? You're getting the consolidation happening now. Hopefully a breakout towards the high of the pre-market, and we can take advantage of that. But at the moment, I think it needs a little bit of more volume. So we have AMD, Apple, Walmart, Neo, mRNA, and CLSK. I think that's a pretty decent list for what we have to work with this morning. Let's go ahead and do some levels. All right, here we go. So AMD right now, you have your main level, which is this one right here, guys. This 106 area is the low from the last 2 trading days, is the previous day close. I mean, just everything is happening here at this support area on AMD. So if we look outside of that, our low of the pre-market is slightly a little lower, exactly at 106.10. So we'll throw a level there. And then below that, we do see another pop or drop over here around 104.48. And that has been confirmed a couple of places here as well, going back. You can see that confirmation here, that 104.48, and also here as well, which we just marked. So a couple of levels there. Below that, you can see here 101.70. Again, I don't think we'll get there unless something major breaks down here. I think AMD has been very strong. We're just kind of getting a little bit of a break after such a beautiful run, guys. I mean, look at this. We went from 90. This is 92 something, right? All the way up to almost 125. I mean, did we hit 125? What is the all-time high, Peter, on AMD? I'm sure you probably have that tattooed somewhere. I think you're on mute.
Yeah, you think I would. 122.49 is the high. Time right.
122.49. Perfect. So nice drop after such a beautiful run. Some consolidation happening now. We'll see. Again, it don't let this fool you guys. This thing traded very well in the intraday, even though the daily looks a little funky here in the last couple of days. It is trading very nice in the intraday. So we'll keep AMD on here. We're good on levels, guys. Towards the top, highs and lows from the last two trading days. You do not need to add anything else. Let's head on over to Apple this morning. Apple right now, again, beautiful drop we're getting here. Low of the pre-market 150.16. There it is, 150.16. And the top of the pre-market, the high of the pre-market is basically your previous day close exactly right on there. So that's all set for you. And I think you're done. All-time highs is the previous day close, right? 151, 151.12. Yeah, you're pretty much set. Actually, all-time highs a little bit higher. We went higher in the after hours yesterday. We went all the way up to, let's see if I got this right here, around 151.70. So 151.70 is around your all-time highs there for Apple this morning. Towards the bottom, guys, you can see here very clear, tons of levels. You do not need to add anything else on Apple. That is looking very good. Great volume, guys, 1.6 this morning. Now, here's Walmart. Again, they got some 730,000 shares traded for Walmart in the pre-market. That is amazing, right? That you don't get that of Walmart in a regular pre-market. We know they had earnings. We'll see. Let's see how this is going to play out. They typically do not trade very well. These retail companies, Home Depot, which also has earnings, is on our secondary list, and Walmart are not great. But when they have earnings, they cancel prices, and we don't have a whole lot to choose from this morning that looks amazing. So definitely going to keep an eye on Home Depot here. I mean, on Walmart and Home Depot as a secondary. Low of the pre-market sitting at 148.25. The top of the pre-market, the high is going to be at exactly at 152. In between here, you do have your highs and lows of the last two trading days and your previous day close. So we'll see how this thing wants to break out towards the top or bottom here. We got a nice little consolidation range towards a wider range, and then a nice tight one here within the last couple of 4 days. We have a nice range there as well. Here's NEO. Okay, we got some good pickup in volume. 1 million shares traded already. Low of the pre-market 37.23. We'll slam a level there. Again, they've just been getting crushed. So I won't be surprised if NEO has some kind of squeeze coming here anytime soon at the market open. Again, we're not going to have a bias, but I mean, they got to be oversold here at the moment. I mean, they're just getting crushed here. So we'll see where it goes. 37.28, low of the pre-market. Towards the left here, let's find some levels. A very clean, clear level here at 34.29. Below that, obviously, all the way down here, clear level at 34.84. In between here, yeah, we do have something good here, right here at 35.96. If you draw a line right on there, you can see a couple of days opening, closing, and bouncing from that area there over at 35.97. So that's a good one. I think you're pretty much set towards the bottom. And then towards the top, guys, clearly highs and lows from the last two trading days. I have mRNA on my list today. Normally, I do not. They've been doing some good intraday trading, though. I've seen some great trades from the community on here when it comes to mRNA. Low of the pre-market, 359.11. So we'll slam a level there as well. Towards the top, guys, you're pretty much covered highs and lows from the last two trading days. If we were to lose this 359, you have a great level, which is the low from yesterday. Right on here, looks like slamming exactly at 350, which, as you can see, is a great area of prior resistance that's now becoming support. So you have that level set there. If we were to lose that, you have another level that's also a very nice one, an area of resistance right on here, right? You got the resistance happening there. That level then becomes support as well later down the line. That 329.21 is the level you want to have on your list as well. So that covers you there on mRNA. CLSK, again, daily, not great, but I do like this drop here. We do have shares for sure. I hope the volume continues to plummet into this stock here. 11.04, low of the pre-market, high of the pre-market, 12.80. So we'll do a level there. That high of the pre-market, also great area of support in the past here. You can see how many bounces we have off of this. So that's your area of resistance this morning. Towards the left, do we have anything under 11.04? Yes, we do. So 11.04 seems to be a great area here of resistance and support. Look at this. Actually, not 11.04, excuse me. The price action where it's at now, 11.23. You can see the battle happening here around that area. So that's good. Below that, we do have 10.32. Seems to be another area where you have some good support here, some good resistance. A lot of touches on that 10.14 level as well. So we're pretty much good here on CLSK, guys. Tons of levels towards the top. You're pretty much covered as well with the highs and lows of the last two trading days. Let's see where this one wants to go. I think the pre-market action could be better. but it does have some potential here. And we do have shares for sure. Let's see what we can get into on that one. And then our low flow of the day, BON, at the moment up 31%. Not looking great. The volume is coming in. Let's see if maybe at the market open or closer to that 9:30 time frame, this thing gets a little bit better. I mean, 1.3 million shares traded, but again, it's just not trading all that clean right now. Let's hope that can change. All right, let's take a look at our moderators lineup. Let's see what we got going on over here. Let's fine tune this, disable this, resize that, and we should be able to go. Let's see what our moderators have this morning. Interesting, very curious to see what our moderators have on their list, because it is a day where you need to be very patient, my friends. Do not force any trades on a day that looks like this on your watch list. So we have Thor. He's looking at Apple, Microsoft, and Neo. Secondary list Walmart, HD, and mRNA there. Peter, no IPOs listed for today. A little suspicious that all my services have zero forward-looking offerings, so maybe there's an industry-wide data issue. We'll keep an eye on it. Thank you, Peter, for that. Watch list this morning for Peter. AMD, of course, Apple. Secondary list Walmart, HD, mRNA, and Neo. Great list there. Dima is looking at Apple only for now. So again, just you can tell here how light some of the moderators list is this morning, because again, you got to be very patient. Not a lot looks great, but we've seen this happen before, guys, where our watch list doesn't look great and then it's an amazing day. Eamon, TLRY, QS, Space, Workhorse, and NKLA. No good, no A+ setup just yet. Tiffany's looking at Apple, Baba, secondary list Walmart, and Tesla. Mike is looking at I was going to say B&H. Break of high scanners, Apple, and Facebook this morning. Brian coming in with his list, Apple, mRNA, Plug, KWeb, CLSK, and BON. Remember, BON is a low flow stock. You want to be careful with that one. All right, guys, we are pretty much set here. So we are going to be trading live, guys, and Brian will be coming on to trade live, I believe. Andrew, if he's available in Alaska, will be joining us to trade live as well. If not, we will have Thor jump in as well. We'll have to check out his connection is over there and if he's able to trade live this morning. But with that said, as we transition over, guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up. It means a whole lot to us over on YouTube. We appreciate you doing that and tuning in every morning. If it's your first time here, consider subscribing. We do this every day, Monday through Friday, when the market is open. Okay.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Apologies for the technical issues, and trade safe.
Yes, trade safe. Just hold on a sec while we get Brian. Oh, there's Brian. Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks, guys. Good morning, Peter and Carlos. Norm is on holidays. Yeah, this is interesting here. AMD's holding up okay, Peter, right now. Down a little.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye, I think, on the basics today. I'll watch Apple since it's in play. It's coming right back to 150. If it breaks below that, I'm not sure what to expect. So I probably will sit back right at the open. AMD, as always, to me, looks okay. Volume's pretty low on AMD this morning, though. And then Neo, those are my primary. So it feels like the old standbys, right? When I don't know what to trade, that's what I go to.
Yeah, the old days. CLSK certainly looks like a short. mRNA looks like it's going to slide again, as Carlos already mentioned. Just below that 350 level was yesterday's support, so we'll see if it gets down there. SPY is selling off a little bit here. Just remember, guys, we have not had a 5% correction in the market for over 200 days. So really, we are super extended on this rally. So
are you calling it, Brian, or you're just letting us know?
I think we're gonna. Well, no, I think we are gonna. I think we're. You know, it was amazing. What did I tell you? What did I tell you yesterday? I told you. I knew it. The market was going to come back. I told you. I told you. I was even watching it at breakfast. I bought some SPY because it came back.
Yeah.
It came back, but yeah. So big rally after on the Dow and the SPY after that sort of looking like a pretty dismal open.
Yeah, and it was driven by, well, I mean, we knew that Apple was a factor as Apple closed at all-time highs with that push
Yep.
through on 150. As I mentioned earlier, just for everybody as a reminder again, I'm expecting there's some economic headwinds. Normally, I don't pay too much attention, but like I said, the combination of the retail sales, which already came out and was lower than expected, the industrial index, and sorry, the manufacturing index, and what was the third one?
Oh yeah, there was a manufacturing index, the retail sales, and something.
Oh,
Yeah,
home
something
builders.
else.
And the home builders.
Hmm.
So if all three of those come out lower than expected, that's three different industry segments we often look to, where one sort of usually recovers while the other one is depressed. That could prove to be a drag. So we'll see what happens. Industrial production was up though. I'm just looking at it. So it actually was released a few minutes ago. The expectation was going to be up 0.5%. It looks like it was up 0.9%. So that's good. So that may negate some of what I was saying in terms of the downside risk. So we'll see. And then maybe I'll turn this over to Thor, who will be here, because Andrew is going to try and join us. But I know that, internet connection, he never knows because he's never quite sure exactly where he's going to be on any given day when he's traveling. That makes it a little more challenging for him. So he may join us, he may not. But we will be here live to trade with you through the open no matter what happens.
Yeah, so I've got some Airbnb calls that I sold, and Airbnb's down a fair amount this morning. CLSK still looks interesting to me. I'm watching AMC too for Jared because it kind of looks like AMC is going to do its AMC thing. It's probably going to rally.
AMC, I'm finding AMC to be an increasingly difficult to trade. So I watch it, but I stay away from trading it more often than not. So.
Well, I'm still, let's see, it's 25 minutes to the open. I'm still trying to come up with a final list here. I'm tempted to short CLSK right now.
What, anybody have the news? I couldn't figure out what the news was on CLSK. Like, I didn't find anything specific to it. Bad earnings? There don't seem to be a lot of analysts following it if that's the case, because I really couldn't find a comparison on CLSK to analyst reports. So let me go to my earnings page, see what they got to tell me.
So the dollar's up, the dollar's strengthening here. Same with the TLT's up a little bit, which means it just went red now. It's interesting. Yeah, this maybe just could be a little cool the jets at the open. Let's see what happens here. Plug has lost this 20. Was flirting with low of day. Okay, so I'm just I'm going to watch mRNA. I'm going to watch Plug, CLSK, KWeb, AMC. I've kind of got up here, and BON. Hey, good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning, buddy.
There's the smiling face of Thor.
Man, it's hard not to smile after the day we had yesterday.
Yeah, no kidding, eh? mRNA looking weak again here.
Yeah, I'm liking mRNA. There's a lot of volume in Apple today, which shouldn't be surprising since it went through 150 yesterday. So it'll be interesting to see if it gets all. It might get all weird and choppy, you know how it does. But I'm going to keep it on the list. And then Walmart HD's got some earnings, so I'm going to creep around. I had a crazy day yesterday, so I'm not looking to get too aggressive today. So hang out, hopefully get a couple of good trades in.
Yeah, FU2U could be interesting, definitely. It's kind of picking up here. We've got space up too. Oh shoot, CLSK is really starting to lose it here. Space is kind of rolling over here. Got space up as well since I had an extra chart. Again, left over from yesterday. Okay, let's see what happens. We got a minute and a half here.
AMD just took off, doing its AMD thing. I have a
Yeah,
feeling AMD is going to be a little wild.
probably.
The spread on it's starting to get a little weird. It's actually like 10, and some areas like 11 or 12 cents, depending on where you're at in the ladder on AMD. So you gotta be careful with that thing. It's actually getting a little spready. Look, there, it's at 18 cents now. So I'd be careful with AMD, not to get too aggressive. Let it beat itself out for 10 or 15 minutes, and then pick a direction.
Okay, well, let's see. mRNA did a little false breakdown there. Okay, we got 30 seconds to the open. Yeah, FU2U looks kind of interesting as well.
Good luck, everybody.
Yeah,
Trade well.
good luck. All right, here we go.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, here we are. Watching CLSK here. This is a little jerky, mRNA. It's going to squeeze. Looks like it's going to try to squeeze there. Yeah, that's exactly what it's doing. K-Web dropping. Still no trades for me yet.
I'm short Apple, 150.40. First partial, 150.03. There we go, baby. There we go. Partial, yeah, 149.90. All right, let's see if it squeezes on me. If it squeezes on me, I'm out. If it holds this down, I'm going to hold next pop. Good ladder, 149. Let's call it 70. Partial. Got it. Nice. All right, cool.
Nice.
Yeah, Rising Devil, baby.
Mm.
It's been in a downtrend under VWAP, squeezed right back to VWAP and the 100 cross there. I went short right at VWAP at the rejection. Boom. This is BP all day, baby. Brian Pesum all day.
Yeah, I'm just short
Partial daily
CLSK.
level.
Short
All right, y'all.
CLSK.
Do
I'm just covering some here.
Lou, good job, buddy.
Just covering some more CLSK. Plug's been strong. AMC's popping. Oh, okay, CLSK coming back to my break even. mRNA. Yeah, take a long on mRNA, just a small size here. 366. Oh, look at Plug go. Wow. Whew. Yeah, I'm out of mRNA. Don't like the way it's trading. Still have some short CLSK. SPY selling off a bit here.
Ladder still looking a little bearish on Apple, but it's trying to hold this previous daily level at 149.50.
And mRNA is going to squeeze. Now it's going to squeeze up.
All right, it might be getting squeezed out the rest of my Apple if it goes back through the open price.
Yeah, that would have been a
great trade though.
nice.
I'm over gold for the day on that one trade, so I
Yeah,
guess
that would
I'm
have been
happy.
a nice, actually. That would have been a good long rate when it bottomed there on Apple. Apple's just been so strong. Okay, just looking at this third 2-minute candle on CLSK, see if we can make a new low on this.
Apple's buying like crazy at 150. Yeah, it might get me.
I'm out of CLSK as well. Okay, no positions for me right now.
Yeah, look at that go.
SPY did a little bit of a drop there, came back up. Let's see what's going on. Space popped back up. Everything's popping back up now.
I added back short
Oh,
at VWAP
crap.
on Apple.
Jesus. Look at mRNA. I knew that was going to squeeze. I knew it. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I knew it.
Knew it. Wow, look at Walmart's pushing back up here. High of day 151.72. Ooh, AMC. There goes AMC.
All right, out the rest of Apple. I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Awesome. That was fun. What a ride.
Look at mRNA go. I had the right idea.
Yeah, look at that thing shoot out. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That buy off of that daily level would have been all that. That was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, look at
Lou was
Apple's.
watching my screen while I took the trade, even though I'm not sharing it, by the way, because all of his entry and partials were all in the exact same space.
Nice.
Dang, Apple go. All right, I'm done with Apple
Yeah.
for a little while.
Yeah, look at Neo go. Yeah, that was quite the reversal after that little bit of a drop.
I see how it is. Lou was kind enough to point out that my entry was at 150.35. His was at 150.39. So
Just
his
long.
entry was better than mine.
I got long
So
some Neo. Got long some Neo for this 38 run.
Nice. Oh yeah, look at Nia. That's great. Dang. Right off of S4, baby.
Yeah.
So I was talking to you guys in the beginning about the plan on Neo. I was just watching Apple, but I was saying let this thing sell off to $37. That's the big bid there. If it holds S4, it might be a great long for a S4 R4. Look at already really moving. That's great. I'm gonna say it now. I knew it because I did.
Okay, yeah, look, Apple, everything just sold and then reversed. Amazing. All right, here we go. It's just gonna sell some Neo, a little bit of Neo here, 95. CLSK is squeezing. Oh, jeez, I can't. I gotta stop looking at mRNA. That's killing me. I shouldn't have. Looked like it
Oh,
was gonna reverse. Yeah. Oh my God, it's gonna go
you
390.
definitely knew this.
Yeah.
you you called mRNA, so I was there. S3,
Yeah.
baby, right off
Yeah.
S3.
That hurts.
Man, mRNA has
Yeah.
been having some pretty
PLTR.
like killer runner days. Oh, they approved boosters. They
Yeah.
approved the
That's good.
the booster shot to and Moderna and
Oh, thanks.
Pfizer are the only two companies that have been approved.
Yeah. Thanks, Hector.
And they just announced the didn't they? They just announced it that they were going to start distributing it. The third one now. I should have
Yeah.
been focused more
Yeah.
on mRNA today.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't think of that.
I remember reading about it. I just
Oh,
forgot. Well, yeah. I mean, they're recommended or something. It's noteworthy.
yeah. Yeah. Here we go. This is the 38 move on. Ooh, plug is really on a tear too here. Space is on a tear. Everything's popping back. A lot of these stocks anyway. Just sold some more. Neil, it's not. I'm just a little bit concerned. That was a second try at 38.
Oh, that's true. 194. Andy also pointed out that Fauci was talking and pointed out the mRNA vaccine
Oh
statistically
yes,
is outperforming the other ones.
yeah, is better than Pfizer.
That's the one I got. Moderna Magic, baby. Boom.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm only a half mRNA. I'm like a Heinz mRNA and AstraZeneca. Okay, Neo's back in my break even here, so figure out what to do with it. I'll sell it and then it'll go. Just sold some more there. I'm getting a little bit anxious about not making any headway here. Okay, let's see this thing. See if I get over 38. Just above 38 is yesterday's low. Here we go. All right, here we go. That's it. Sold some 38.01. Okay, I'm pretty much out of it. Plug's still going. That plug was a little bit of a rascal.
Trying a little long here on AMD, see if it breaks out here. I'm in from about 106.10. Let's see if this thing goes.
Yeah, it's like a bit of a chop fest right now, but yeah, if it can break out of here. Yeah,
There
I'll
we
go
go.
with you on that one. Yeah, through
Partial at
107.
107.
Yeah, I'm with you on that trade. Oh, geez, look at plug is on fire.
Buying
There
on
we
the
go.
tape is really good, or was really good at
Yeah.
106.50. See if it goes or if it stuffs. I'm out if it comes back through 106.50 at break even, or actually a little bit above break even, about an R. Good support on the bid there.
Yeah. There we go. I'll take some off there, 107.
Didn't get the follow through though.
No,
This might come back
it's a
down.
little bit. Okay, it's still trying to hold here.
It's trying. It didn't get the push though. Come on, guys. All the selling's on the small tape, not the big tape though. No one big stopped out there. All right, lots of orders on the big tape. We're going.
Here we go.
I'm going to take a
Yeah,
partial
baby.
at 107.20. This is
Yeah,
pre-market
we
high
do.
here, so if we reject and come back down, probably not a good thing.
We do have 107.40 as yesterday's close. Wow.
Qs are trying to hold VWAP right now on the 5-minute, but are struggling to do so. Oh, we're on AMD right now. Climb on. I went long on it off of as it went through VWAP here, looking for it to break out from VWAP and run to the previous day's close. So far so good, but it didn't quite get the push I wanted. But I think we're holding here. Low volume decline at least, so it looks like we might be good to continue up.
Mhm.
Ladder's a little lean on the level too, though, but looking for like 107.50 for my next target, something like that, if it makes it, which I don't think it's going to. 105.50 large bids starting to assert themselves, so short sellers are coming in.
Apple at
Squeeze
151.
Let's go.
Look at it. Look at Apple go. Apple's gone green on the day. Yeah, for reversals, Apple was such an obvious. Gosh.
Yeah,
I mean,
so good.
yeah, such an obvious play.
Yeah, once it made that new 1 minute high, I should have just stopped out. I actually added back in at VWAP, averaged in a little bit, and then stopped out at break even because it held there. And I got a nice drop, gave me hope, and then it stopped me out. That's okay, though. I don't hold a grudge. Man, pre-market high being a tough level for AMD at the moment.
Yeah. I just took more off because I don't have as great an entry as you do on
Yeah,
that last little push there on a 720. Yeah, I'm pretty much out of AMD. I didn't take a big position because I really chased it. Might look to get short some calls on mRNA when we settle down here.
yeah. mRNA is back into this. What is this? Yesterday's
Yeah, it's well above
low.
yesterday's high now.
Or no, sorry, yesterday's.
Yeah, apparently.
That's a weekly
Yeah,
level. Sorry,
look at AMC. Yeah,
2 days ago's low.
yeah. I put AMC on my watch list for a reason. I kind of felt like this thing is just gonna. It was kind of hot yesterday, so still had it left over as a chart from yesterday. The apes are back at it again on, or either that or it's Jared just hitting the bid.
Yeah, it's all Jared. He's just buying and selling. He's actually the market maker now for AMC.
Yeah, I think so.
He's got all the shares.
Nice, Chris. Chris is on the AMD trade too.
If you see
Oh, you're shorted.
MMID JRAD, that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, AMC, if you look at it, I didn't know this, but if you look at it on a daily, it kind of put in a double bottom.
All right, I'm done with AMD. Let it chop around, whatever it's going to do. Yeah, Wally World's running nice, huh?
Wow, K-Web is still squeezing here. Yes. Well, 20 minutes into the trading day, I mean, you can look for stocks that are trending. Just look at the 9 moving average on the 2-minute chart. As you know, if you can find stocks that are continuing to hold above it, they really haven't rocketed like this. This is a tough day to find a trending stock. We had a bit of a sell-off at the open, and then we had a rip higher here on just about everything that you look at. If you can try to find trending stocks by looking at the new high bid or ask on the scanner. Walmart kind of looks Walmart's got a nice looking daily. Wish is another Wall Street Bets stock that keeps that's really popular. Yeah, Wish. You can look for 920 trades too, like maybe Moderna's going to do a 920 here trade here. mRNA, it's a little bit early for a 920 trade.
It's the
920
level
trades.
2 starting to look a little heavy on mRNA. I'm starting to see a real distribution of liquidity to the downside on this at fairly regular intervals. So mRNA might actually try and come back a little bit.
Yeah, Wish is looking interesting. It looks like it's trying to break out here. SPY just basically rolled over here. VRPX keeps popping up on the scanner. Looks like Wish is going to go through, maybe going to try to get through 7. Yeah, so mRNA definitely has lost a 9 moving average here. Let's see if it pops back up. It's really hard to short a strong stock. But yeah, a little bit of topping action on mRNA right now. Plugs really pulled back too after that monster move.
SPY has finally started to move lower in this last 5-minute candle,
Yeah,
especially. It's
so I've
starting to move
noticed.
back towards low of the opening range.
Yeah,
So it could
right
be
back to the low.
interesting to see what happens now.
Yeah. There goes the SPY is really starting to drop here now. Wow. Okay. IWM dropping. Apple put in a bit of a double top on a 1-minute chart there. Could have been a mountain pass for Peter.
All right, SPY's made lows.
Yeah.
Q's
Yeah, you're
making
right.
lows. Yeah, Jared's calling it out. There's market-wide selling going on right now.
Yeah.
So for me, it's time for the old handcuffs are on for me. I just locked my montage, so I had a good Apple trade, decent, a good AMD trade. So I'm done. Well over goal for the day. So, and I wasn't even really planning on getting too many trades today, so this is just perfect. So I'm gonna handcuff it up.
Handcuff it up. How do you lock your montage? Is there a way to actually lock
Yeah,
it?
there's I mean, you can unlock it just as easy, but it's like on your, at least on the way mine's configured, if you look like where your shares are all the way to the right, there's a little lock icon that's open, and if you hit that, it'll gray out your buttons and it won't let your hotkeys function. There's also a hotkey for it, which I should add that in. Thanks, Tomo.
Lock montage.
That's dope, Kyle. I'll
Yeah,
have to add that one in.
I don't see that on mine. I don't see a lock. Mine doesn't come with a lock.
Not
Where did you
even
say it
Joss
was?
can constrain the power of Brian Pesum. We
Oh,
don't even
I
try
see
to
it.
give you a lock.
Let me see. Oh yeah, look at that, eh? There with little sneaky. I see it. Yeah, you're right. I do see it now. Thank you. There you go. It goes green when you unlock it, and it goes red when you lock it. Jared, you're going to love this trade. I actually sold some mRNA calls at 400. I'm naked. Question is, what do I do with them now? They're up a buck already, or down a buck if you want to. So mRNA just bounced off of yesterday's high there.
Mm-hmm.
Used it as support. Yeah, everything kind of reversed here. Looks like Bon is picking up, starting to find a level here. Volume's
It's
picking up
actually
a bit on it.
funny on mRNA. Last week on mRNA closed at 389.14. We went to 389.83. So we went pretty close to basically what was last week's close. And then have kind of started to go underneath it. But that should be a really interesting level to play if it can ever get above it. But no dice. I told you the level 2 was looking bearish on this thing. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Ha!
You
I
knew
knew
it.
it.
You knew it.
Last
You
drink of
knew
the
it.
day.
There you go. You knew it.
That's either going to be really funny or get old really quick. I'll leave it to you guys to decide. All right. I actually want to get a black T-shirt, like a Vans T-shirt made, but on white. Just I knew it, because that'd be
Inside
pretty
joke.
amazing. But I feel like it could relate to so many things. You just walk
That's
around
true.
wearing
Yeah,
it,
that is true.
and people will be like, "What?" and you'd be like, "It."
I knew it. I knew it. You name it. I knew it.
I knew it. What'd you know? It.
It's true. All right. Well, I took those calls off on that last pullback to the to that level.
Robin has a fair point here. Can I please put out my PSA announcement behind I knew it trademark? When we say I knew it, we don't really mean we knew it, because in the market, you obviously don't really know anything, right? It does what it does. However, when things do what we speculated they would do, because we are in fact just speculators, we like to jokingly say, I
Yeah.
knew it, and then drink. So
Yeah.
I just said I knew it like 5 times in that PSA, by the way. So everybody drink.
If we really did know it, we'd go all in.
Yeah, if I really did know it, I
100%.
wouldn't have risk management.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Well, SPY is continuing to look a little weak here.
So there's this new indicator that Chris MC pointed out to me. Kyle, I don't know if you've checked this thing out or not. It's in the DOS montage, and it's called the price picker. And its intention is to kind of replace the dynamic level 2 scale bars, and it shows the the bid ask, like where the orders are coming in. Like right now, mRNA is rallying, and it's just loaded straight green on that indicator right now. When it was selling before, it was loaded straight red. So I mean, it seemed to be correlating well. So I think it's pretty interesting.
So VRPX, I don't know if anybody's playing that, but it's been consistently hitting the scanner here.
Hold on, guys. I'll get you a screenshot of where it's at. Got a couple screenshots in there for you all if you want, so you can see how it is. Right, Aaron, it replaces the spread, which I'm not a huge fan of because I really like using that spread when I'm evaluating stocks. So I don't know if I'll actually replace what I'm normally doing with it unless it's really good. I don't know, Thanos. I just started looking at it. I think it's showing you imbalance or some kind of like as you're buying at the ask or when there's more imbalance on the ask to level 2. I'm not entirely sure. I just noticed
Just long VRPX. See if it can get through 10 here.
VRPX.
It's been popping on the scanner. Here we go. Here we go. Ah, yeah, sold. Just quick scalp there through 10. It's probably going to go higher. The only problem with this these trades at this time of day, it's pretty late in the day. AMC is just kind of hanging around 37, just underneath it. Should have picked up on VRPX earlier. It just kept showing up on the scanner. That's what the scanners are for.
It's a solid moment when you recognize, Brian, when to stay away from a stock. You and I both kind of did that little pop on AMD and then just decided, hey, let's leave this alone and and go look at other stuff. AMD is still in that same exact nasty choppy range that it was in before. So that was a good decision.
Not making any headway there.
Yeah, Chris, we hit the dumpster fire emoji for AMD today. Oh, hey, Chris, I need a meme made. If you could help me out, or Mark, or anyone who's good at that stuff. There's a picture in the chat from earlier of Peter making a really sad face when his microphone wasn't working. I need that overlaid with when AMD trades like a dumpster garbage, or AMD trades when AMD trades in a range or something like that. And then Peter going, There it is. Yes, Jared. Thank you so much. I needed this in my life. All right, thank you. This is getting saved to my desktop for later. Downloading image. That makes me happy.
So funny. All right. Well, I'm looking for stuff here. I'm looking for a trade. I don't. Looks like the SPY has kind of bounced here. It's VRPX. VRPX did a big drop there. Might keep an eye on VRPX if it comes back to if it drops below 9, it might be an interesting trade.
What a run today, though, huh? Ton of selling for VRPX at $10 and $10.08, and then the topside ladder on it's almost gone. So this might be the run point for VRPX when it starts to. It might just start to chop up here or something.
Yeah,
Because I'm not really seeing downside ladder either.
Yeah, it's getting to that time of day here, where there isn't, you don't get. It's kind of the buying is getting a bit exhausted for the time being, anyway. SESN is seems to always be on people's radar too. I don't know if that's a Wall Street bet stock, but it seems to be hitting the scanner as well here. Man, did it ever sell off? Holy cow! It was trading up over $5 a couple days ago. Whew. SPY is bouncing back. So we still got all the indexes in the red. The SPY and the Dow seem to be holding up the best, sort of like yesterday. Finished in the green, and then the IWM and the Qs are. IWM particularly is holding up the rear here. Well, that BON stock was a real dud. It's actually, we got 50,000 shares for short. It just keeps, there's, if you want to look at a stock that's trending, just look at the 9 moving average on BON, 9 EMA. On a 2-minute chart, it just, every time it touches that 9 moving average, just falls away again. Man, Plug had a real rip and then just fell out of bed. Wow. V reversal, it's just so hard to trade those.
Well, good sir, I think I'm going to cut it, my friend.
Yeah, mRNA does look like it's
I'm not trading because I handcuffed myself, so might as well cut it out of here.
Yeah, good deal. Thanks for joining in, as always.
Well, any opportunity to make a little cash, hang out with the prophet of profit, got to do it. So it was a lot of fun today, everybody. Everyone over there in YouTube land, great hanging out with you all as well, and trading with you. I hope everyone had had some successful trades today. And otherwise, keep it green, y'all. I'll see everyone else in the chat room at 1 p.m. Thanks.
Thanks, Thor. Yeah. Be sure to come back, guys. Check out Show Thor later. Have a good one, buddy. Thank you. Wow, this is quite the morning. Just drop, pop, and drop. At the open, this was really crazy. This is what toppy markets look like. You know, there's no there doesn't seem to be any one group of buyers or sellers that are in complete control. So you get some sellers taking control at the open. The buyers step in. They kind of run out of steam pretty quickly, and then the sellers take over again. So it's yeah, it's interesting. As I said before, we haven't had a good 5% correction for over, for a better part of the year, actually. So it's, we definitely need to have, a healthy market always doesn't go straight up. It always, goes up in waves, some buying and selling. I think mRNA is going to break out here now. Goes through 390. SPY's bouncing back. Yeah, well, I think we are going to end up just sort of consolidating in this area. I just don't see. I don't see with the interest rates the way they are. I don't see a big sell-off. I mean, VIX has not been indicating any fear in the market. That doesn't necessarily mean we won't get a sell-off, but um, yeah, what's a wish? I was kind of watching it for a while. I wasn't really doing anything. Um, Walmart has been a little bit of a chop fest, although it is trending up. FUTU is had a nice little pop there. Okay, so I was talking about how BON is just using this 9 moving average on its way lower here. There was another case where it just dropped. It dropped, consolidated, hit the 9 moving average, dropped again. So people are just trading off that. There goes mRNA is still on a tear. It's probably mRNA is going to 400. Yeah, they're going to take it to 400. Almost guarantee it, 400. See how these little dips get dropped by bought back. Okay, Chris, have a good one there. Nice trade on, nice short on Neo. Nice double top there. All right. Well, I just looking here. Space did a bit of a double bottom there, sort of a false breakdown. Plug popping back up now. Plug's been really hard to trade. It's just seems like it's just doing V reversals. I don't know if it's squeezing people. I just got long some mRNA there, 197.10. I still think it's going to 400. Just 200 shares, just be part of history. So it's gonna can prove me right here. Ooh, it's Becky. Becky's kind of erratic. It's pushing. It's right at yesterday's high. There's another one. Is that another Wall Street bet stock? Crazy daily on this thing. Wow, AMC is breaking out here. AMC is a bit of a 920 trade. It did flatten out, kind of lost the 9, came down to the 20, and then popped up there. AMD. I don't know, AMD just looks like it's just hacking and slashing around the VWAP here. Might be breaking out. Energy's up a bit. UPST is breaking out here. There goes Nate's stock. Okay, this time mRNA. Here we go. I'll take half off. I'm going to take half off here. 398.91. 77 filled. That'll give me some room so it doesn't, if it drops below 395, I'll still be flat on the trade. Here we go. Here we go. Here's 400. Oh, there we go. 400. It's filled on the rest of it. Yeah, now I'm part of history. Yeah. See, I knew it. Drink, yeah. Still might go higher. It's still on an uptrend. Dips are being bought. It just continues to rock higher here. So there's 401. SPY starting to pick up. IWM starting to rip here. Starting to pick up as well after putting in a bit of a double bottom there. Interesting. I'm interested. This KWEB, the Chinese stocks seem to be holding in here. KWEB, which is the Chinese ETF, has been is at or near high of day. It's kind of interesting. Must be a lot of short covering because that news out of China wasn't particularly positive for internet stocks. Yeah, the regulation news. Wow, Walmart just rolled over here. AMC is continuing to go here. That's hilarious. Look at AMC just following that 9 moving average up as well here. Every time it hits it, it goes higher. I think AMC is going to go through 38 here. Big ask at 38. It's going to get long here. And I think this was, I think this is a bit of a boredom trade. Just looking for something to trade here. Although I still think it could go through 38 here. Just going to sell some there, 38.90. Just because it's just because this really isn't an A+ setup. It's not even an A setup. Might not even be a B. F+, yeah. I still think it's going to go through 38. Got an order in at 90s, 37.96, filled. It's got a few shares left. Still a big ask at 38 here. It's got to drop a long way to get to the 20 moving average. There we go. 38 filled. 38.03. Still going to go. Yeah, it's got a long way to drop to get down to the 9 moving or the 20 moving average. You got to get down to, I'm going to say, sort of 393 for it to be a 920 trade. Yeah, Neo's still pushing up here. Neo could be interesting. This K-Web just keeps pushing up higher too. Just squeezing people. I'd keep an eye on that at the end of the day. It might be, might be finding a bottom here, K-Web. Oh, wow, AMD. Holy cow, look at AMD rip. Crazy. Crazy. Looks like Walmart's going to lose the View app here. Yeah, FUTU has been pretty interesting. Now there's a trending stock for you. Once it got into that, once it kind of broke out, just been using that 9 moving average. It's just slowly trending higher here. It's going to go through. It's going to go through 93, although there isn't any big. There's no big ask there. There's your pop through 93. There's a S. That's an S3 level right there. That 93.10. AMC still going. AMC, Wish. This is the. This is a Wall Street Bets day. Neo just popped up, went green on the day. Wow. Oh yeah. Is BlackBerry? There's another Wall Street bet stock. BlackBerry. What else? There's Bed Bath and Beyond. That's got to be going next. Yeah, Ross. I know. I saw it in the pre-market. That's why I kept it up there. I kind of thought it was going to, be another runner today, just like yesterday. It's really hard for me to. It's really hard for me to look back at comments because unless I turn off the scrolling thing, because it just keeps scrolling, and every time I try to read something, it just another post comes in, it just scrolls again. Yeah, knew it. 937 volume spike. See, let's take a look. 937. Yeah, I see that volume spike at 938. I look at that on the, that's a level 2. That's a level 2 chart that you should have if you're day trading. I can see all the bid and the asks all the way down on either side. We'll talk about that in a minute. So with FU2U, yeah, there was definitely like a doji, gravestone doji. which is a doji candle that pops up and then drops again and closes pretty close to where it started from. And it did it on volume. So, I mean, yeah, that's definitely sort of an indication of a reversal. We did get a pullback to the 9 moving average once that happened. And then, I don't know, FUTU was just choppy. Until about, what time was that? It actually did a bit of a 920 on the 2-minute chart. It's early for a 920 trade. Usually they happen after sort of 10:15. But we did a bit of a pullback on FU2U. It dropped through the 9, held the 20, popped back up again, and then ripped higher. Yeah, I definitely didn't know it. Yeah, I know. It's kind of weird, eh? It's a green candle, but it was just barely green. So, yeah, I mean, nothing's 100%. Obviously, no indicator's 100%. I mean, that could have indicated pretty much a strong reversal, but in this case, really all it did was just pulled back a little bit. Yeah. You have to be careful about using some of these indicators too early. Pre-market can throw things off if you use those numbers. Gosh, K-Web just keeps grinding higher slowly. So you've got a 920 trade on mRNA right now. Right now we're at the 20 moving average. We've lost the 9. I'm I'm not going to take that trade, but that's sort of a typical 920 trade. Although mRNA was a little bit more choppy. You like to see a cleaner sort of move up. Like let's see anything here. Apple. Apple's going green again. Yeah, HD. I wasn't looking at that one, but that's been tough trading stock. Although you could have kept shorting it off the VWAP. Kind of erratic in the pre-market. Sold off, then it popped back up. Sold off again. Maybe putting in a bit of a bottom here. RBLX is really ripping after it went green on the day. This has been a really interesting day. Both AMD and MU and Square green. NVIDIA's going to NVIDIA, I think it's going to go green. Lots of stuff kind of greening up here. Buying brigade coming in again. Came in early today. Usually it's when I go for breakfast. Yeah, FUTU is just, it's really sold off a lot. If you look at that daily chart, man, that's see what you did, Mary. Did you trade the Home Depot? Nice. I like the ad on the short. Covered. Added more back on the short again on that pop. And then covered again. Very nice. Yeah, good trade. Good trade, Mary. Nice one. Hey, Jared.
How's it going, Brian?
Good, good. How are you doing? Yeah, possible night. That's right, exactly. You got it. There's it's right at the 20 moving average right now. It's been a strange day, don't you think? I mean, I didn't see this pop on some of these stocks coming, like KWeb. It's been surprising. The movements on like Plug has just been erratic, up and down, V reversals. It's not the
Yeah,
kind of day I expected.
we've had some interesting price action today for sure.
Yeah, I can honestly say I didn't know it.
Ah,
I didn't, usually I can get a sense of what the markets are going to do, but yeah, today has been weird. Go ahead.
so since you announced a trade that you were taking, I was curious how you managed it because this is a good case study. How did you
Which
manage
one?
that mRNA short call at 400?
Well, I knew it was sort of it broke through the 9. So I wasn't looking at it for a longer term play because I don't like to short stock. I don't like to short stocks that are strong. So it was more of a scalp on using options versus an actual short trade. I mean, I think if it had kept dropping, I might have kept it. But when it started bouncing off the VWAP there, that's when I decided just to exit the trade entirely, because I thought, this is the kind of stock that could actually, continue to run higher. And we were still well before, we were still before 10 o'clock, just before 10 o'clock on that trade. And I typically I know that most stocks will, run for at least well, at least half hour, usually 45 minutes. So, yeah, so basically it was, just, more of a scalp unless it had really continued to sell off. But once I saw it holding the VWAP, I just got out of it. Didn't make as much as I thought because I had some slippage on that when I had to cover the call.
Mm-hmm.
So
Cool. Yeah, it's
yeah,
I started watching the call that you had sold, the price chart of the premium. Uh, I'm guessing, given when you talked about it, you probably sold it for like $8 to $9 premium.
yeah. It was like 795. Yeah,
Okay. And then around VWAP, it was probably trading for about 6 to 5.75, and
yeah.
as it
Six
started to
fifty was, yeah, 650 is what I ended up having to sell it at or buy it back at. Because like I
gotcha.
said, there was some slippage on that one for sure.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I
And
did put an order. I did put an order in at 570, but it never got filled, so I had to readjust. I actually missed that because it did trade at or below that at one point.
yeah, it did. I see that. I'm sure the liquidity there is not excellent with such a
No,
high price stock.
but it was only two calls, so I wasn't trying to buy 50 calls or anything like that. The plug looks like
You'd
plug's
make
gonna
the market
go.
if you did that.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyway,
yeah,
what?
that was an interesting one because it went against you at some point. I was seeing how the premium was changing into
Yeah,
400 since it was such a strong rally. So
yeah, totally. What did you end up trading today?
uh, tried a little Tesla in the morning. I was a bit early and I ended up taking a small loss because I wasn't liking how it was setting up. That ended up being a really nice short later on. And then I traded AMC as soon as we got over previous day close. I pretty much was just looking for long entries, and I got two good ones. One ad that I had to bail break even, but overall, I'm trading some smaller size right now, but I'm still looking at a 6R profit on the move so far.
Nice.
And yeah, just
I'm
trying to
surprised.
lock in the strategy.
I'm surprised you didn't trade AMC today.
No, I did AMC.
Oh,
I
did
might
you?
have said
Okay, cool.
AMD. I'm sorry, AMC.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, sweet.
yeah. That's what I meant.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
um,
Tesla's interesting. It's down. Man, it's lost a lot in the last 2 days, didn't it?
yeah, pretty rough showing on that false start
rough
market.
ride. Yeah, yeah, and it's Tesla does have this AI event that's coming up on Thursday. I guess they're going to be talking all things AI, especially related to Tesla. And I don't think Elon likes first responders. He's programmed his cars to run into them at the side of the road or something.
I hope that's not true.
Yeah, I know. That's not that's a bad joke, but anyway, I mean, yeah, it's been bizarre how it seems to not his system doesn't seem to recognize that, because I think there's been like 17 accidents where his cars have run into first responders.
Right. Yeah, and I'm curious, like from the technical perspective, how much of that was kind of, I don't know, baked in to some of the decline we're seeing now, because it's a weird technical breakdown on the chart.
Yeah,
It's not one that I'm familiar with. Um, So
Well, it's
it's
an
a very
event.
weak showing overall.
Yeah, but it's more of an event thing than anything, right?
True. Yeah. Selling off into the event. It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
weird.
Yeah, well, it's it's the news thing. That's the news yesterday about the investigation by the traffic guys that are that really beat the stock yesterday, and it's probably just a continuation today.
Yeah,
So at some
that's true.
point, yeah, Tesla's probably going to be a buy going into this thing. Should take a look at that and just see if there's some levels there that Tesla might actually respect on the daily chart here. Well, let's take a look at
Probably, I'd probably be looking at the weekly. Um, we're at like a buy zone on the trend line area, but it's bad that we fell all the way back down from like a channel perspective. It's a pretty significant drop. Like you'd expect some chop in between.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Well, it's interesting.
if we,
It's on the daily. It's sitting literally right on the 200-day moving average right now.
yeah,
So that is always a pretty significant area of support. And if you look at going back sort of through July, it kept bouncing off the 200-day moving average. So every time it
yeah,
kind of got down there, it bounced back up. So so we might be actually finding a level right here. And this is this is a gap fill of it from back in June.
oh yeah. That it's been
Yeah,
filled
and this is
before, but it's it's a low
exactly. It's been
liquidity zone.
yeah, and this area is kind of resistance for these two pops in July 20th and July 27th. It hit resistance at this level twice before breaking out from this level. So yeah, I mean. Could sell some 650 calls here, or 650 puts, I should say.
Okay. Right.
Come on, living on the edge.
They, as long as your risk management is good,
Yeah,
you're monitoring it. So
it's
it's like an over. If you ever did an overnight hold on those, I'd be super
yeah, I
like
know.
nervous the whole
Yeah,
time.
it's yeah. No, I don't know that I'd take that one. I kind of like I've been kind of, the trades I've been doing mostly are the earnings. Once the earnings comes out and the top's made, put in, like
Yeah.
like Walmart. Today we had the earnings. It topped out at 152.50. So you could, there's no catalyst to take it higher, other than maybe just general market conditions. So again, could be that's sort of a trade I would sell a call on. And if you wanted to cut, or buy a 150 call, 155 above it, so you're covered. Just give back some of the profit there.
Yeah. I do
Yeah.
see gamma risk quite a bit.
VRPX. What's VRPX doing now? It's
Oh,
consolidating.
nothing.
Yeah, it's consolidating here. It might actually kick up. It's gotten through the 9 moving average.
Maybe if the level 2 shifts really quickly, probably 850 would be an inflection there. But
Yeah, this is the kind of stock that you could, you could take a bit of a long here and then use sort of 827 as a stop. So you and hope to get back up to the view app, which is 870-ish. Volume starting to pick up a little bit on it.
Yeah, watch
Okay.
AMD at previous day close. That obviously relevant for my
Yeah, it's been
my strategy.
back flat again on AMD. You're back flat on the day. All right, well, I'm going to drop off here. It's 8 o'clock. I'm going to grab some breakfast. Yeah, AMD's just kind of slowly grinding lower now. Wow, IWM has lost it.
Yeah,
SPY's rolling over a little
financials.
bit here again. Yeah, it's just it's just a weird day. There's just like it's almost like the markets don't know which direction to go. Should we go up again?
Yeah,
Should we go
it's
down?
true. It's true.
Yeah,
They should probably go down for a little bit, and
I
then
would
we'll go
think so.
back up later.
Yeah. Okay, Jared, have a good one. Are you going to
All right.
continue on here, or is John joining us here?
I think we will go ahead and sign off of YouTube.
Yeah, that's
And
a good point. Yeah, we'll sign off YouTube first here. Thanks everyone out on YouTube for joining us.
y'all take it easy.
And yep, don't forget that's your opportunity to join us in the room for a week. $24. What a deal! $6 a day. No, $5 a day. $4.80 to be exact. And you can catch us real time, not delayed like you're getting on YouTube. Hope everyone had a good day out there, regardless of whether you're on a YouTube or in the room. And lots of stuff here in the room. Lots of opportunities to check out videos, educational videos, that kind of stuff. So anyway, have a good rest of the day, people. Bye for now.
All right. Take it easy. See y'all tomorrow.